Game 2 of the 2023 NBA Finals belongs to the Miami Heat. A dominant, masterful, total team effort tonight. Championship DNA, pedigree. Absolute incredible defense down the stretch. Incredible shot making. Good rotations. Timely plays. The definition of a true underdog. Defying all the odds when given little shot against Milwaukee, against Boston, and now against Denver. And we're going to go back home. They're going to go back home to South Beach. And Wednesday night, it's going to be 1-1 series. The Miami Heat have stolen home court advantage, defeating the Denver Nuggets in Game 2, 111-108. If you're new and haven't subscribed to me, hit the subscribe button. I talk a lot of NBA. So the breakdown of this game, incredible team effort by the Miami Heat. The fourth quarter, the undrafted underdog Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent stepping up. Miami would not have won this game tonight without the brilliant Duncan Robinson. He had 8 big points. In the first 50 seconds of the fourth quarter, he hit a couple threes, and then he had a cup to the basket inside. Duncan was just sensational from a guy that barely played in Game 1, that didn't play a lot in the season, and to have his name called upon, stepping up and delivering, that's what incredible players do. Incredible role players. And Duncan Robinson, absolutely, me and a lot of other people are wrong about Duncan's game. He's not only a three-point shooter, but throughout the course of the year, he's a great backdoor cutter, absolutely really good at moving without the basketball. Duncan does a lot more to his game. Kudos to him for not settling and cashing out his $90 million like he was going to chill on the bench the whole time. Duncan Robinson has been instrumental to Miami's success these playoffs. Absolutely incredible stuff from Duncan. And Gabe Vincent, how about his finals MVP odds? What's it looking like right now? I know Jokic is probably number 1 still, but Gabe Vincent, an 18-point Game 1, a 23-point Game 2 performance. He's going to get paid probably as much as Austin Reeves. 23 big points, a plus 22. That's a game high. 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from deep. Vincent just waited his turn. How about him competing on defense, guarding Nikola Jokic? And was it him that drew an offensive foul? Gabe was just so good. He was just so sensational today. Just relentless, that hard work. He gave Miami a lot of burst tonight, and the Heat would not have won this game without the sensational Gabe Vincent. Bam Adebayo was absolutely fantastic too. A plus 17, had 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 block shots. Played 40 minutes. A promising sign. Bam did everything that he was supposed to do and asked to do. He's been tremendous so far this series. Him and Gabe Vincent, easily the 2 best Heat players for the series. They should be absolutely feeling good about themselves going back home 1-1 with Jimmy Butler not having that great of games. Jimmy Butler wasn't that good today. As I was live tweeting this game that Nikola Jokic is outplaying Jimmy. Nikola had like 28 points at the end of 3, or 31, I should say, and Jimmy Butler only had 13 points, and Denver had the narrow lead. The Nuggets had the lead, and I was thinking like, oh, Miami has a chance to win this game, and Jimmy Butler hasn't even played that well. Jimmy absolutely needs to step up, and he did in the fourth quarter. He did. He knocked down a couple shots. He had a nice mid-range jumper that really kind of sealed the deal, and that gave his team a 6-point lead or maybe a 9-point lead. But Jimmy Butler stepped up a little bit. I have to give credit to him when he absolutely did ball out. He could have laid an egg badly in the fourth quarter, but Jimmy, he did a lot of great things. That was not shown on the box scores, and especially having his 9 assists. Jimmy Butler, I look for him to be more aggressive at home. I do think that he's been struggling a little bit last couple of games, like during the playoffs. But Jimmy Butler and South Beach, I know Heat fans going to be confident in him. Jimmy Buckets. He hasn't been Jimmy Buckets for a long time, to believe it or not. Like, after that Game 7 win against Boston, Jimmy Butler didn't really have that great of games. Like, who knows if he's a little fatigued in the second half of the playoffs. He did a lot of carry job, especially early in that Milwaukee series, and you like to see Jimmy Butler just take over because Miami's going to need Jimmy Butler to take over one of those games at home if they want to really win. If they really want to win, Jimmy Butler, he needs to go ham, and he's more than capable of doing so. And that's what it's going to take. So if he wants to win a championship, his teammates absolutely did the job today, absolutely put on a show. Good work. And if you're the Denver Nuggets, the fact that Mike Malone was criticizing his team for the lack of effort is the freaking NBA Finals. There's no excuse for margin of error. The Denver Nuggets, they look absolutely relaxed today. What the hell were they doing on defense? KCP cost his team 2 fouls on shooting threes. He gave up 6 free throws today. So that was absolutely terrible by KCP. He's played like shit all series. I remember KCP playing very well on the road against the Lakers, so KCP will need to play well and show out. One of those 2 games, I don't believe he'll play this poorly for the rest of the series. Something's got to give for KCP. He was just absolutely horrendous, a non-factor today. The fact that Mike Malone in the second half didn't really play Christian Brown when he was balling out, making all those hustle plays. Christian Brown had 3 steals in the game in just 15 minutes. 3 steals in 15 minutes. KCP still played 36 minutes and a -14. Absolutely horrendous. So terrible. Christian Brown was a +8 today, and he gave that Denver Nuggets team a lot of energy. He helped them took the lead in the early second quarter when everything wasn't going well for the Nuggets in the first. But the biggest absolute travesty tonight, Michael Porter Jr., where the fuck has he been? Absolutely terrible. 6'10", big for nothing. He was soft today. So soft. He was in La La Land. It seemed like Michael Porter Jr. was taking a vacation out there on the court. He was He was ball sleeping, not paying attention, not rotating. Guys like Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry, hitting threes on him. He's 6'10". He's 10 inches taller than those guys. And what the hell did he do? He was terrible. Michael Porter, it seemed like he's allergic in trying to take a couple dribbles and try to create for himself. He has not looked aggressive. Michael Porter has been soft. He's been the softest player this series. And his weak mindset in the lack of assertiveness, it's really got to change. Michael Porter was the main reason why the Denver Nuggets lost today. Like, he was such a liability on defense. A -15 for the game. If you're 6'10" and you could get buckets and you're a good three-point shooter, he shot 1 of 6 from deep today. He only had 6 rebounds after a pretty good game 1. He had 5 freaking points. 5 points, and they gave him that max extension. 5 points ain't gonna cut it. He ain't gonna cut it. Absolutely terrible. Michael Porter was just really bad. So he had 2 straight bad offensive games. That just can't happen if you're the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets, they still almost won the game, even though MPJ played bad. They need at least an 18-point game for them to have a chance. 18 points for him. Jamal Murray, I thought, was terrible defensively in the pick and roll, especially in the first half. Not much communication. He had a pretty subpar game, 18 points and 10 assists. And he had a pretty good look. He had the shot that he wanted at the end. I don't criticize Mike Malone too much for not calling a timeout. He didn't want that Heat defense to be set, and that shot was going to go to Jamal Murray regardless. He had a pretty clean look that he got off, but it was a nice contest by Jimmy Butler. So Jamal Murray, he just missed that shot, but I thought he played a pretty subpar game. Wasn't at his best. Jamal Murray played his best in those wins. Like, you see the Game 2 game against the Lakers in the fourth quarter when he had 23 in the fourth. That Jamal Murray was not there today. That's one of the main reasons why they lost to Miami. Miami's not a team that they can just sleepwalk through. They are the better talented team on paper. The Denver Nuggets have more than enough to beat the Heat if they play their hardest. But if they just lack off like today, they can easily lose the series, especially in Game 3. If Miami comes out and wins at home and Denver's not used to being on the road in the NBA Finals, it's going to be a big test. And if Miami goes up 2-1, they have an absolute chance to win that series. They absolutely do. But the Denver Nuggets are still favorites, even though it's 1-1 right now. There's still a possible 5 more games to go. And It's a real NBA Finals. This is a real NBA Finals. For all you people saying that, oh, this finals gonna be boring. Oh, we rather talk about free agency. All those people aren't real basketball fans. They are casual idiots that just don't watch NBA basketball and they just go on social media just to scroll through tweets, but they're not really real basketball fans. This is an excellent NBA Finals. This is the definition of the great coaches and a testament to Eric Spoelstra, what he can do and adapt. So Eric Spoelstra, a sensational game today. Everyone knew game two was going to be more competitive than game one. And the fact that Spoelstra clicked all the right buttons, he's changed the starting lineups. Instead of having Caleb Martin starting, he was a little sick, I hear. That's why he didn't play that much. But Kevin Love was sensational in the first half. Kevin Love had 10 big rebounds, a couple outlet passes. One of them led to over the one of them led to a clear path foul, Jokic on Adebayo. And guess what happened? Bam sang 2 free throws. And you know why that is? Because of Kevin Love. Absolutely, Kevin Love was sensational with his outlet passes and his energy. And Kevin Love's defense was pretty good too. It was really good in certain stretches. Like we give Kevin Love a lot of shit, but he's able to hold his own, and he just been able to really fit well with the team, and he was a big factor tonight why Miami Heat won. And he was absolutely huge stepping up in this game. He only played 22 minutes, barely played in the second half at all. But a plus 18 for Kevin Love today, a plus 18. Positive energy. You can't ask for any more. So game one was about the Hayward Highsmith game. But then game two, only 6 minutes. Matt Strus. Kudos to Matt Strus for stepping up. He was absolutely unconscious in the first quarter. After struggling and going 0 of 10 from the field in game one, Matt Strus hit like his first 4 shots, I believe. He had a dozen points in the first quarter. The fact that Matt Strus came out of the game and knocked down a 3, and he wasn't shy from 3 too. Even though he did miss a couple of them afterwards, he had a lot of good looks. He was not shy about shooting, and that's the type of energy and mentality that's deserving of being super competitive at all times. So kudos to Matt Strus. He's going to get paid a decent salary and a good contract when it hits free agency. Game one, he could have folded. He could have been like, nah, I don't want to play game two. Just bench me. Pay. You could play Hayward Highsmith, but Strus absolutely stepped up. Matt Strus stepped up and he delivered. He was absolutely instrumental to Miami throughout the first half. He had 14 points and 6 assists, a lot of good playmaking duties. So this is the type of Miami Heat game that defines the 2023 Heat culture. Like if any Miami Heat fans out there, they look at the Heat franchise with under Pat Riley and under Coach Spoelstra, even like 5 years down the line, you can just go to any random Miami Heat game that you want to watch and know what the definition of Heat culture is and what their identity is. Look no further than game two of these 2023 finals when all the undrafted guys absolutely stepped up and balled out, put on a show. Duncan in the fourth quarter, he stepped up. Matt Strus really got the ball rolling in the opening tip-off. He stepped up. Bam Adebayo overall, a sensational game just throughout. Kyle Lowry made a lot of great plays too. I mean, Kyle Lowry hit those free throws. I did think that he tried to. He's such a master at drawing the fouls. He flops his body. It can also work against him too when he kind of forearm Jokic, got called for the offensive foul, but Lowry kind of like fell down because KCP was knowing he was too close to him, and he sank the 3 free throws in the fourth quarter. That was absolutely huge. And this is one of the games that Miami should feel absolutely good about, feel proud of. But they're going to need way more for Jimmy Butler if they want to win this series. They got 1 game, but can they win 3 more games against the number 1 team in the Western Conference that's been super hot? Can they hold the impossible as a number 1 seed? These Miami Heat, they are the best 8 seed of all time, in my opinion. Just looking at their success, the Knicks only won 1 game against San Antonio, and those finals wasn't really that competitive at all. So Miami, the fact that they're tied 1-1, having a chance to win either 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, This Miami Heat team already solidified themselves as the best 8 seed of all time. But can they be the most biggest underdog title team of all time? Whoever bet on the Miami Heat right before the playoffs to win the NBA championship and put down $100. And if they do win the championship, they're probably going to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire, just like that. So a perfect game for Miami. They got it done on the defensive end. Denver, the fact that Denver kept it close. And if Jamal Murray would have hit that shot, everyone would have scrutinized Jimmy Butler for missing that shot. Because Jimmy Butler missed 12 shots today. He was only 7 of 19 from the field. Jimmy Butler needs to absolutely be better, especially one of those games. I believe Jimmy Butler right now, he's like hit or miss, on and off. I think he's going to be sensational in one of those Miami Heat games. And then the other game, he's probably going to lay an egg because Jimmy hasn't been as consistent as of late. So, but the good news for the Miami Heat, everything that they've been through, that grueling Boston Celtics series when they were up 3-0 and then they lost 3 straight, all that's history. All that's right behind them. So they're focused right now. So it's still Sunday night. They got a rest tomorrow. They got rest Tuesday, and then game 3 on Wednesday. They gotta be at home. The fans gotta go crazy. It's gonna be the first Miami home finals game since 2014. Remember, in the bubble, there was no fans there. So that Heat team, the fans are gonna be rocking. Nikola Jokic and the Jokic brothers gonna be out in Miami. So what do you do if you were Miami? They see the Jokic brothers at the club, try to get them a little, just get them drunk, get them very drunk, and make them a distraction for the game. If they have them scream, just do anything to make them a distraction. But Nikola Jokic, he's been sensational. Can't say enough good things about the Joker. He had 41 points today, 11 rebounds, but Miami excellent game plan limited him to 4 assists. And that assist to Aaron Gordon when he just caught the ball one hand, swing it, a baseball pass to Gordon on the alley-oop layup, that is sick. That's unbelievable. Jokic was sensational. If the Nuggets were even to lose this series, and let's say Jokic averages 35 points, he might be the second player on a losing team to win Finals MVP because Jokic is really that guy. I'm not sure how happy or unhappy Miami Heat fans will they take it if they win the title, but Jokic wins the Finals MVP because he's been by far the best player of this series. It's not even close. He's been by far the best. And the Miami Heat are not gonna have any answers for Jokic at all. So, but they want to make him a scorer. They kind of pretty much locked down on everyone else. Aaron Gordon didn't have as many easy layups, although he was trying to cut. Miami did a great job on him. Michael Porter was absolute shit all game long. Just a disgusting game by MPJ overall. And Jokic in that third quarter, you seemed like the momentum was going to go to Denver when he just got the rebound and brought the ball up the court and drove on Cody Zeller and had that and one. I thought Jokic was going to just have another masterclass just to roll over Miami, but the Heat culture guys, role players absolutely stepped up. So Jimmy Butler, he has to owe a lot of credit to his teammates that are on minimum contracts that absolutely balled out. But Nikola Jokic, you can never go wrong with giving Nikola Jokic the ball or having him make decisions. Make decisions. The Heat defense overall was sensational all around. The Denver Nuggets 0-3 in the postseason when Jokic scores 40 plus. Last time the Denver Nuggets lost, in a playoff game, Jokic had 53 points against the Phoenix Suns. They had 53. It wasn't like the Suns did anything sensational on defense because they weren't that great on defense. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant just absolutely went off. But this Miami Heat game 2 win, this was the best defense that was played on the Denver Nuggets all postseason long. So anybody that says oh, the Miami Heat aren't that good, teams like the Lakers would have beaten them in the West. Well, you know what? The Lakers won 0 games and the only team to get swept by the Denver Nuggets these playoffs. So these salty Laker fans thinking they can walk over Miami, Miami already done something that the Lakers couldn't do. Win a game against Denver, and Miami has a chance to win 3 more. And the Lakers are at home. And LeBron James trying to generate more attention. What's he going to tweet? What's he gonna tweet before game 3 to steal some of these attention? Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. But this is the Miami Heat right now on Sunday. Jamal Murray, I expect him to play a lot better on the road in South Beach. Did not have his best game, and the Denver Nuggets are on and off. Like the role players too. A lot of times they lose focus throughout the regular season as well when they slack off. So one thing that Miami has over the Nuggets, they have toughness. They have laser focused guys that are sharp. The Denver Nuggets have talent. They have the best player in the game, but the role players are not focused every game. Guys like Michael Porter might have some boneheaded plays. KCP was absolute trash today too. Aaron Gordon was just subpar. He wasn't really that good. Nothing really stood out against with AG today. He only shot 5 for 7 from the field. The fact that Gordon was limited to 7 shots, Michael Porter took 8 shots, Jamal Murray, he took 15 shots, and KCP took only 4 shots today. Jokic has more shots combined than Porter, Gordon, and KCP today. It's just give credit to the Miami defense for locking them down. Jokic only took 12 shots in game 1, and that was a total win by the Denver Nuggets to be able to steal that. Lots of things going into game 2, going into game 3. Game 2, Miami wins. That was history. 17 of 35 from 3 Miami shot. They were incredible shooting the ball, honestly, today. And game 1, part of the reason why they lost, they had some good looks, but I did think the altitude kind of affected them. And because they were coming off a game 7 with barely any breaks. So the Miami Heat actually, they did what they had to do. They hit their threes. The Denver Nuggets did not hit their threes as well. 11 of 28 from deep. Matt Strus, 4 threes. Gabe Vincent, 4 threes. Even Jimmy Butler and Kevin Love, a couple threes. And Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry hit 2 threes. Anytime the Heat go 17 of 35 from deep, you like their chances. Anytime they go 18 of 20 from the line, you like their chances. From taking 2 free throws to 10 times that mark in game 2 and to go 18 of 20 from the line. Kudos to them for stepping up. If Miami would have missed 1 or 2 of those free throws, this game might have turned out differently. It might have absolutely turned out differently. So the Heat took care of business. Overall, great fourth quarter, 36 points in the fourth quarter. That's how you get it done on the road against one of the better teams in the NBA. So all that talk about the Denver Nuggets potentially being the next dynasty. Yes, they're looking like the brightest of teams the next 3 to 5 years. But before we talk all that, the Denver Nuggets need to show that they're consistent and they're truly serious and they're gonna be locked in. Michael Porter needs to step up in one of those Heat games. And I believe he's gonna have one of those great games on the road. KCP as well. And Jokic is still going to continue being Jokic. At this point, like, I'm not going to be shocked if Jokic just plays, if Jokic is the best player on the floor, even if Miami wins another 1 or 2 of those games, or maybe even 3. Jokic is going to be the best player on the floor probably for most of those games because he's just that guy. He's just proving it every single night. Maybe Jimmy Butler will have a monster game and be the best player one night, but we have yet to see that. Jokic, we all know what Jokic is all about, what he's capable of. So he's just a generational talent. And the fact that we're watching him right now competing in the National Basketball Association, one of the slowest athletes, just dominating. It's kind of like how Larry Bird was the best player in the 80s because he was so smart and skillful, but wasn't fast, wasn't athletic, didn't jump as high. We're seeing this from Nikola Jokic and how he is impacting the game. Excellent zone defense, letting Jokic beat them, but everyone else was out of sync. That was a good decision, a great decision for sure. But if you're the Denver Nuggets, they've been so dominant these playoffs. This is only their 4th loss, and all their losses has been super close, super close. So it's not like the Denver Nuggets, even though they played a bad game, they did not get blown out tonight. They did not get blown out. The Denver Nuggets, they still had a chance to win. If I was Miami, Eric Spoelstra made the right call, I guess, because he kind of saw that everyone outside of Jokic was struggling throughout the whole game. 90% of other coaches would have fouled. If it was the situation like Doc Rivers Sixers, like they probably would have fouled Jamal Murray on that three-point shot, and that probably would have went in. But that's just the Sixers and teams with just bad lucks and bad coaches. But the Miami Heat, they're the most disciplined team, I say, in the NBA because they're undersized. They're not as talented. That Heat culture thing, whatever they have, like behind the scenes, what they're doing, it's absolutely working because all these guys, they play. They play to win. The fact that these guys are playing in June and making a this type of impact while making minimum, Matt Struz and all those guys, Caleb Martin, they're making less than $2 million a year. And you're watching these players perform in the month of June, shooting threes after threes and getting much more well known. While guys like LaMelo Ball has so much fame, but he hasn't been healthy, it might not make the playoffs for a long time. And we pay attention to a lot of these regular season celebrity big names. But if they're not in the postseason, what good does that make it? Regular season basketball, it does kind of sucks according to most people. And I'm sure a lot of you know a lot of friends that are just regular basketball fans. More than 50% of your fans just watch the NBA playoffs and they don't really care about the regular season because the playoffs is where you make your mark. And guys like Struz and Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent, they're making that mark right now for the Miami Heat. Like Heat culture, what a season for Miami from almost losing to the Chicago Bulls. Like, where were you when you were watching that Bulls Heat game play-in game? To be honest, I wasn't even locked in watching the game. I was working out at the gym, but I was watching the fourth quarter on my phone just to keep aware, just to see if anything crazy happens. And Jimmy Butler and Matt Strus, they won that game right there. They absolutely won that. But there were also some questionable calls today, so let's be real. Let's be real. The Denver Nuggets, they had some unfortunate situations. There was a missed goaltend call or Bam on the bow. That ball looked like it was going on the way down. It looked like when it was about to go down, and that's where he blocked Jamal Murray's shot. I did believe that was absolutely a goaltend. It was close. Some of you might disagree with me, and that's fine, but I'm surprised that wasn't really challenged. That was not challenged at all by the Denver Nuggets, and that Bam Adebayo black shot, that was not called. That cost the Nuggets the game. That cost them the game. But it's good for Adebayo to be alert and just put the pressure on the refs to make those calls or not make those calls. And there was also a no call on Jimmy Butler. He stepped out of bounds on Gabe Vincent's three. So the refs totally missed that. You guys seen it. Like Jimmy's foot was obviously like on the out of bounds line and Vincent drained the three. So they missed that. And there was also another out of bounds play on Struz, but that was called against Jokic. I didn't see the ball that touched Jokic from the replay angle, but they said that ball was Miami ball. So even though there were some missed incidents for the Denver Nuggets, they played terrible today outside of Jokic. They played absolutely terrible and rested in the fourth quarter and was lazy and let Duncan Robinson, the least athletic guy on the floor. I mean, Duncan Robinson might be least athletic than Nikola Jokic. I mean, he's a smart player. He knows how to move without the ball, but Duncan Robinson, would you bet the over or under? Has Duncan Robinson dunked 5 times in an NBA game? I'm betting the under. If anyone can pull off that stat, I'd be impressed because I don't remember ever seeing Duncan Robinson dunk in an NBA game. Not that he needs to anyway, but for him to have those backdoor cuts and beat the Denver Nuggets like that and look more athletic than them, I mean, he's the least athletic player on the court, but he just plays so much harder than guys who were sleepwalking like Michael Porter today and KCP. Gross. Bruce Brown, I thought had some terrible offensive plays, but he made it up for his defense. His defense been pretty sensational overall, so I give credit to Bruce Brown. Really, the first Denver Nuggets loss at home since March 30th. Denver's also 3-7 during the regular season. When Jokic had 6 assists or less, he only had 4 today. So Miami had a total great game plan on Jokic. 1-1. Are you any of you surprised Miami won this? Did people think the Nuggets were going to sweep? Some people have the Heat winning this series altogether. What's it going to be for game 3? Because Eric Spoelstra, he's still out coaching Mike Malone for the series. Denver's going to win the title because of their talent. Miami's going to win the title because they play harder, they communicate more. The lack of communication today, man, for the Nuggets was just ugly. Are they sick of hearing Mike Malone scream at them? Is Mike Malone going to become Doc Rivers soon? That the players are just not going to want to listen to him. So games 3 and 4 is going to be super interesting. I mean, both teams have good rest for game 3. It's not going to be for another 67 and a half hours or so, something like that. And then game 4 is going to be on Friday, which is going to be a good one. It's almost perfect that on Friday it's going to be at 8:30, so people can still go out and enjoy their Friday nights after the game ends at 11. And I'm also very happy about, like, you guys make plans Friday night to go out with friends and just have fun. Thankfully, there's not going to be a sweep. So there's the NBA season after Friday is still going to go on. It's not going to be 4-0. But the series will go back to Denver for Sunday night. That's gonna be interesting. Like, this is what I don't get. Like, there's 3 days rest, and then there's 1 day rest in between game 3 and 4, and then there's what, 2 days rest? There's 1 day rest. No, 2 days. So there's 1 day rest. So Friday is gonna be game 4 Miami, and then on Sunday is gonna be game 5, where the rest day is gonna be on Saturday on the road. So kind of a quick turnaround there. Kind of a quick turnaround. Super quick turnaround. So it's pretty tough to figure things out. Mike Malone's got a lot in his hands. I do think that the Denver Nuggets for game 3, Jokic is gonna try to be the facilitator, and he's gonna try to have Aaron Gordon get some cuts and create some mismatches to exploit, and Gordon's gonna look to be aggressive. And how about, like, MPJ posting up? Like, Michael Porter, he's just a stick out there. Why is he just trying to shoot threes? Even when he catches the ball at the 3-point line, he's like allergic attacking the rim. He's 6'10". He can shoot over anybody. How about mix it up? How about taking some mid-range shots and put the pressure on the defense? And he wants to step out to shoot terrible off-balance threes. Like, he catches the ball, takes 2 dribbles, and takes a fadeaway, like, 3-point shot in the finals. Like, that's a bad shot. Like, what are you doing, MPJ? He's got to be more composed and just get into a good rhythm so he can have a good game. He needs to have a good game for the Denver Nuggets because Jokic is going to show up. He's going to show up. And the Miami Heat, they can't relax after this. They need to show up for game 3. They absolutely need to. Some of the other role players got to step up. Maybe Caleb Martin will finally be healthy and rested for game 3, and he's going to have a game 7-like game against Boston. Jimmy Butler also needs to show up as well. But Michael Porter, is this stage too big for him? Because he's looking like the least confident player out there. He looks totally lost, and he's just chucking shots out the gym for the Denver Nuggets. Like, if it's a close game in game 3, let's say the game is within 5 and Miami's up 90-85 with like 6 minutes left, do you really trust MPJ in that type of game to knock down big shots if he's having a bad game? Or are you just going to go with defense like with Bruce Brown in the game with KCP, Jamal, Aaron, and Jokic? MPJ could shoot the ball, but he's missing badly. He needs to get in the rhythm. And MPJ, at least they're 1-1. Game 1, they didn't really need him to shoot that well. He played overall great at other things in game 1, but game 2, he looked lost out there, and he was absolute shit. Like, this is some of the worst MPJ games, like, you see, like, from his scouting report, his weaknesses. This is what the scouting's talking about when they wanted to pass up on him. He was just not good today at all. So I'm gonna stick around for a couple more minutes since I gotta wake up super early in a couple hours, actually. All we needed was split in Colorado. Yeah, you got the split, but don't let the Nuggets take game 3. The Heat win game 2. Good work calling that. Who's gonna win game 3? It's gonna be interesting. Very interesting. If the Heat win game 3, they absolutely have a big chance. This is the first time a team has taken Denver. Like, this is so impressive about Miami. The first time a team has taken Denver 1-1. Minnesota lost the first like 3 games to the Denver Nuggets. It wasn't really competitive either. The Phoenix Suns lost the first 2, and the Lakers lost every one of them. Make a video about 10 easiest path to the finals. I made a video about that. If you haven't checked it, just type that name up and you probably see my video pop up somewhere. I made one, and I already made one about the hardest path too. If you haven't watched my channel from my previous years, I made a very detailed and informed video on that one. And the thumbnail was Hakeem and Dirk Nowitzki. So just enjoy that video when you get the chance. It's great info, great stuff. They're better than the Grizzlies. Oh, the Grizzlies are man and mature. We're gonna probably hear about the Grizzlies right after this series, probably like within 5 days after this NBA Finals. Ja Morant, I would say he's suspended for 40 games. I don't expect anything less, to be honest, because Adam Silver fucked up the first time for giving him a pass, but second time can't fuck up that many times. Miami do have tough players. The toughest player for the Nuggets today of the road guys was Christian Brown. He was the rookie. At least Jamal Murray's dunk on Matt Strus was nice. That was really nice in transition. That was sick. I think the Nuggets win it with a run in the end. They need to get out of Bio fouled out. Cody Zeller can't guard Jokic. Cody Zeller had 2 baskets tonight. 2 baskets in the NBA Finals. Like, I give credit to Cody Zeller because he was able to finish those layups in traffic too. So Cody Zeller wasn't a total liability. He did what he had to do. Give Miami some minutes. He was pretty much like a body just to guard Jokic. He scored. He had 4 points, no rebounds, 1 turnover, 3 fouls, 8 minutes. Cody Zeller was Cody Zeller. He reminds me of one of those third string backups when you're trying to guard Shaquille O'Neal. Like, he plays his Scott Powell role today against Jokic. If you watch the Kings and Lakers in '02, Spoelstra is better than Mike Malone. Agreed. He definitely is. Imagine if Spoelstra had someone like Nikola Jokic and Jimmy Butler. If Spoelstra had Nikola Jokic, they probably win 4 titles in 5 years. Malone is just vocal. Spoelstra actually has coaching smarts. Malone's also a good coach too, but if Spoelstra beats Malone these playoffs, it just goes to show how much better Eric Spoelstra is and Greg Popovich compared to every other coaches in this league. I think Malone needs to adjust. I think the Denver Nuggets, they need Jokic got to get his teammates involved, and his teammates got to really show up in Game 3. I do think that the Nuggets are going to be motivated after a loss like this, and they're going to play better. But it's going to be very interesting stuff, super interesting. Game 3 is going to be super close, but I see the series being 2-2 heading into Game 5. That's how I'm going to say it. So who knows who's going to win Game 3? I expect the Nuggets to come out hot, but if Jimmy Butler has one of those incredible games, Miami can absolutely get it done. But if Miami gets it done, I believe it's going to be a close game. If the Nuggets get it done, I believe that Jimmy Butler either played a bad game and Jokic and Murray dominated, because Jamal Murray also needs to show up too. If Jokic and Murray both score 25 plus together, it's hard to beat the Nuggets like that. It's really hard. So it's going to be a really, really fun series. Hopefully, 4 more games. Hopefully, the series goes 6, maybe even 7 if that's possible. That would be absolutely nuts. We haven't seen a game 7 of the finals since 2016. So are we due for a game 7 this year? Who knows? Who just knows? But a lot of basketball to come within the coming weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend and your Sunday. And I'll see you after game 3 on Wednesday night right here. You haven't subscribed to my YouTube, hit the subscribe button. More other videos coming up soon related to Jokic content perhaps. And sleep well tonight. I'll see you next time. Peace.